The Shredder's Tale, a USAG Stuttgart OPSEC story. Welcome to the OPSEC Minute, Extended. We're excited to launch this new platform, and if you're as enthusiastic as we are, we'll be sharing OPSEC insights, along with connections to other important security areas every Monday through text, and in the near future, in videos too. All right, enough from me. Let's dive into today's secure narrative. The briefing room hummed, a low thrum of nervous energy from the freshly minted Stuttgart arrivals. Soldiers, blinking off the red eye from CONUS, sat with civilian contractors like Jessie to her friends and co-workers, who felt distinctly underdressed. She'd landed a program assistant position, a fantastic opportunity. But these in-processing briefings felt less like welcoming and more like a crash course in existential dread. Today's subject, Operational Security, or OPSEC, led by Alonzo Edwards, the Garrison Command Security Manager, radiating quiet competence, and Mr. James Brooks, affectionately and sometimes fearfully, known as JB, the Garrison's OPSEC officer. "Good morning," Alonzo began, his voice cutting through the murmur. "The security of this garrison and the mission our soldiers support rests on every single one of us. We operate within a persistent threat environment, and believe me, that threat is very, very real." He gestured towards two figures in the back, looking like extras from a spy movie. Agents from Army CI Detachment Stuttgart. JB took over, projecting a slide. The 100% shred policy. Here at USAG Stuttgart, there's no such thing as too much shredding. Anything with potentially sensitive information, names, dates, unit information, even doodles that might resemble tactical formations, gets shredded every single time. This isn't a suggestion, it's policy. The garrison commander has made it abundantly clear, and frankly, so has the general. He likes his paper mulch. Jessie initially rolled her eyes internally. She was a staunch recycler back home. Why the draconian measures against perfectly good paper? It felt excessive. The CI agents then detailed the tactics of Foreign Intelligence Services, FIS, relentless, patient, and masters of turning the mundane into the catastrophic. They showcased how seemingly innocuous information, meticulously collected, could unravel critical operational details. One case study involving a base in another country hit particularly close to home. A contractor, bless her heart, had tossed a document containing a partial deployment schedule into the recycling bin. FIS recovered it, analyzed the information, and leveraged it to, well, let's just say the unit's surprise inspection wasn't much of a surprise. The recovery wasn't a dramatic raid, it was insidious. A seemingly legitimate recycling contractor, a front for the FIS, systematically collected the garrison's recyclables inside a nondescript warehouse. The paper was sorted, not for processing, but for intelligence. The deployment schedule, carelessly tossed in with cardboard and plastic bottles, was flagged within hours. It wasn't the schedule itself that was valuable, but the pattern it revealed. Predictable unit rotations, consistent training timeframes, and the names of key personnel. Cause and effect, one of the agents emphasized, are powerful. A small lapse in security can have devastating effects on mission success, and, more importantly, the safety of our personnel. And with effect comes consequence. Disciplinary action, potential legal ramifications, and irreparable damage to our national security. They hammered home accountability. Every person within this footprint is accountable for protecting sensitive information. Whether you're a soldier, a contractor, or a family member, you have a responsibility. Even your kids' drawings. During Q&A, Jessie hesitantly raised her hand. But isn't it a waste of paper? And time? I mean, we're trying to be green. Alonzo met her gaze, understanding but firm. "Jessie, it's not about convenience, it's about preventing compromise. Think of it this way. Every shredded document is a barrier, A layer of protection. That waste is a small price to pay for security. Besides, he added with a wry smile, the shredder guys are a powerful lobby. They've got a union. JB chimed in, leaning forward conspiratorially. It's not just about what you think is sensitive. Assume everything is, when in doubt, shred it out. And if you're still unsure, shred it twice. We've got a high-capacity shredder for a reason. Later, clearing her inbox, Jessie stumbled upon a document listing attendees for an upcoming unit family day. Ranks, unit affiliations, spouses, professions. She instinctively reached for the recycling bin. Then the CI agent's presentation flashed in her mind. She remembered the case study, the consequences, the stern faces, and the weight of responsibility. She pictured a FIS analyst meticulously piecing together data, building a profile. Instead, she walked to the industrial shredder, fed the document through and listened to the satisfying work liquor of destruction. She fed it in a second time just for good measure. A wave of clarity washed over her. It wasn't about following a rule, it was about understanding why. It wasn't a job requirement, it was her role in protecting the garrison. She felt a strange sense of empowerment, like a secret agent. Jessie realized the 100% shred policy wasn't about paranoia, but about proactive defense. It was about understanding that small actions had significant consequences. She understood that OPSEC wasn't just something the security team worried about. It was everyone's responsibility. From that day forward, Jessie was a steadfast advocate for the shredder, a vigilant guardian of operational security, and a minor annoyance to the recycling center. She even started a friendly competition with her colleagues to see who could generate the most paper mulch. JB gifted her a miniature shredder keychain, proclaiming her honorary guardian of the mulch. However, a few months later, a local German newspaper published an article about a volunteer day at an animal shelter, mentioning several spouses of USAG Stuttgart soldiers were participating, including Mrs. Miller, the veterinarian. The CI agents quickly identified a connection. The same FIS group had begun monitoring local media, searching for information about U.S. Army personnel and their families. They'd identified Mrs. Miller's profession and were attempting contact, posing as fellow animal lovers. Their intent? To gather information about potential vulnerabilities in the garrison's veterinary services. They're patient, one of the agents explained grimly. They'll exploit any connection, any opportunity. The incident served as a sobering reminder that the threat was persistent, adaptive, and relentless. Even seemingly harmless community involvement could be exploited. The shredder, Jessie realized, was just one piece of the puzzle. OPSEC was constant awareness, continuous risk assessment, and unwavering commitment. And whenever she heard the whir of the industrial shredder, she smiled, knowing she was doing her part to keep USAG Stuttgart safe. One shredded document at a time. Thank you for taking time out of the day to listen to our first OPSEC Minute extended episode. We aim to promote our Stuttgart security programs in a way that aligns both with Army regulations and leadership goals. Whether you prefer listening to these stories or reading the written version in our weekly emails, we want your feedback. Take a moment and let us know what works best for you. A thumbs up or a comment will do.